Welcome back to the Sunday Business Page.
The Executive Leadership Academy at Carnegie Mellon University nurtures community business leadership by investing in African American executive talent. The result, more corporate diversity, makes us a stronger and more vibrant place to live and work. In an 8-month program, training and exposure to the corporate community opens doors that have been closed to African Americans for far too long. Robert Young, Managing Director for the Advanced Leadership Initiative, Dr. Angela Campbell, Executive Director for the Center for Student Diversity and Inclusion at Carnegie Mellon University, and Alexis Clipper, the Director of Pharmacy Operations for the UPMC Health Plan. Welcome to all of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll begin with you, Robert.
Yes.
What is the problem? Why is there not diversity in the boardroom?
Right.
This is 2019, right?
Absolutely. And, Pittsburgh is home to leading hospitals, leading universities, Fortune 500 companies. But when we take a look, there's less than 1% of African American representation in that executive and C-suite level. And the vision and the question that the initiative answers is, how do we prepare African Americans for the challenges and responsibilities to fill these executive leadership roles?
And you, off the top of my head, I think Pittsburgh is about 25% black, the city.
Yes.
The region, about 10, 12%, I would estimate,
Absolutely,
guesstimate
yes.
right now. What is the problem? Is it racism, or are there cultural differences, or
Right.
we don't think about diversity enough?
Right, and when we think about, how do we identify high-performing African Americans in our corporate organizations, we need to understand the unique challenges that these individuals face. For example, implicit bias in the workplace, how to maneuver through organizations. And one of the pillars of the initiative, as well as the Executive Leadership Academy, is the executive mentorship or executive sponsorship. And research shows that for individuals to really accelerate through their career, they need someone to pull them up and help provide a voice in those spaces, to provide their social capital, to support them, and to push them along in their careers.
So Angela, tell us a little bit, if you would, about this program. You're in the middle of your first
Yes.
sort of class, right?
Yes.
It's an 8-month program, did I hear?
Yes, yes. It's been an extraordinary experience. I mean, the pillars of the program really prepare us with the academic knowledge, the empirical understanding of what are some of the consequences of implicit bias, for example. How do we then navigate to move beyond mid-level leadership positions to the C-suite? And in my case, is working in higher ed, the cabinet level of leadership in higher ed. And so the executive coaching, the advisement, and also having access to world-class professors and leaders in their respective fields has profoundly inspired and prepared us to take our lessons directly to our current environments and then begin to strategically envision the next place where we want to go to make a difference in the Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania region.
Yes.
Alexis, what are some of the lessons? How do you break through?
Well, one of the things when we talk about our world-class leadership, pairing it with coaching and sponsorship. I mean, Coach John Wooden said, a great coach can change a game, a good coach, can change a game, a great coach can change a life. And when we talk about, when you're in your career early on to mid-level, you are technically proficient, day-to-day technical experiences, but it's that sponsorship that takes you to the next level and gives you that strategic perspective that is critical for chief level functioning.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Can you give some examples? How do we break through?
How do we break through that ceiling?
Yeah.
One of the things that we learn in our classes, we do case studies and we are faced with examples of here's what happened in this particular realm. When we, as students and participants, we learn tools to get to the next level. And how would you handle this situation? How would you navigate this? So perspective and sponsorship are really the key success factors to that next level.
You know, Robert, I've been in broadcasting a long time.
Yes.
And when I first walked into a television newsroom as a young man, it was all white guys, okay? I was there when the first women and African Americans came into the TV newsroom. And I can tell you that the newsroom today is a much better place than it was then. Tell me about the importance of having diversity in the workplace.
It's critical. And our co-chair, Greg Spencer, as well as our co-chair, Jerry McClary, and our founding director, Evan Frazier, will share that over the past 20 years, there has been a decline in the bench strength and succession of African Americans to move into these executive and chief level roles. And we see through the research that diversity on that level improves the performance of organizations and companies in terms of revenue, ideation, innovation, and other potential opportunities that provide growth for those organizations.
Does it bring new ideas to the
Yes.
table, a new way of looking at things?
Right, and so diversity can be seen as diversity of thought, diversity of ideas, diversity of individuals, and that's why we have these outstanding cohort members, Angela and Alexis, to provide those visions and thoughts throughout the program.
How can we get others involved in this program? When you're in the middle of your first session, when's the next session? How do you get into it?
Well, enrollment and recruitment is in place now.
Yes.
There's an upcoming event on the 23rd.
Yes.
For those who are interested in the program, I'll let Robert speak more about that. But really, the corporations, and what's really been beautiful about this program is the investment from the Pittsburgh corporate community to invest in top talent within their organizations and say, this is a good program for you. We want to shape and drive the diversity in
We're going to have to leave it there. Sounds like a fantastic program. Wish you all a lot of luck, continued success. Robert Young, Angela Campbell, and Alexis Clipper, thank you all for joining us this morning. We'll be back with more on the Sunday Business Page in just a few moments.